welcome to the
Yeah.
Booze, Boobs, and Blood podcast on YouTube.
The tubes. It's Watch with Ween and Ray, man.
Yay!
We have a special episode. It's a very special episode of
Sure,
Watch
yes.
with triple WRN at triple WNR. That's at triple WNR. And we are finishing up The Last of Us. So this will be the last of The Last of Us for season 1. Putting a Wait, hold on. This. Here we go. This on that. Wow. I am not drunk, guys. That is
Slaps.
this is all me. All right. So,
Goodness.
what is the name? Because I am working on all cylinders. I did not, of course, look at first.
You don't have the show title. You don't have the episode
No.
title on one of your 8 screens.
No, all of my screens are actually blank right now because my laptop is in my car. So, okay.
I believe it's called Where the Light Is or something like that.
Where the light is. Shout out. Okay, you look for the light.
Look for the light.
Which I think this is this the highest rated of the episodes? No,
I don't
Endurance.
think so.
No, Endurance Survive is 9.4,
Yes.
which makes sense.
It was awesome.
This is like a medium. Like this looks like actually 9.3 for the one before too.
Oh yeah, we forgot to look at that.
Yeah.
Oops.
We're
professionals.
We are sure. Sure.
We're not. Amateurs. Amateur.
So this was actually not this is one that was not directed by either Druckmann or Mason. It was directed by Ali Abbasi.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, I mean, I'm pretty sure like Druckmann and Mason wrote every episode. I'm assuming so.
Yeah.
We come in at what 42 minutes in this one.
Just about.
Yeah. So we start in the past, but we don't quite know right away that it's past.
And who do we start with?
Start with Anna, played by Ashley Johnson.
Ashley Johnson! I love Ashley Johnson.
So, what would people know Ashley Johnson from?
Well,
what I realized through I did not realize. No, I did realize at the time because I remember seeing her on an interview about this. But go on.
What you and I know her from are probably different things, but everyone know her from Growing Pains.
No, that's what I know her from.
Yeah,
as Chrissy Seaver. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yes, growing up. But nowadays, she's still active in acting.
I know her from Blind Spot. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was in Blind Spot, the TV show. She does a lot of voice acting, and that's how she met a lot of the people that I watch on Critical Role.
Yeah, because she's on that too, right?
Yes, she is. She is a Dungeons and Dragons player. There's Critical Role is, for anybody who doesn't know, is a bunch of voice actors that play D&D together and have for years, and it is heightened, nearly single-handedly heightened the popularity of Dungeons and Dragons.
Nice.
Like, if not single-handedly, they had a large percentage to do with it because they do a lot of, because they're voice actors and actors too. Mm-hmm. Like, right, you know, their role playing is impeccable.
Yeah.
So it's like watching a movie, but you're watching them play a game for 4 hours. So it's awesome. So Ashley Johnson is on that. Not to mention, Ashley, it is apropos that she is in The Last of Us, because in The Last of Us games, she is the voice of Ellie.
Yeah. I'd seen an interview with her before, and it was like, they were talking to her about being the voice and then doing this role, which we're just going to spoil it. She plays Ellie's mom. So, Anna. So she is very pregnant when we meet her at the very. She's running from something.
She's running and having labor pains.
Yes.
Speaking of growing pains.
Oh, boo.
She's got a
Um,
growing pain in her uterus.
yeah, she does. And she's being chased by something. She finds this old broken down house,
Hmm.
pretty much like goes up the stairs, uh, locks herself in, and then an infected comes breaking through the door, and
As she's giving birth.
as she's giving fuck goes, yes, right, her water breaks while she's in
Yeah,
the
while
room.
she's going upstairs, her
Yeah,
water breaks.
she's like, oh, yeah, because right, she can't open the door. She's got to use her dress
Yeah.
like to cover. I was like, blah. This was not an episode to eat dinner to.
No. Although I did.
I did too. No, I did too. But this scene here made me ill. This part
Yeah.
with the umbilical cord, I wanted to vomit a little bit. I was like, nope.
Yeah.
Things
That's
like
a lot.
certain things. Well, usually I can handle it, but when you're eating, that's when it's like, bah, nope.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. But
Yeah.
that's okay because my dog ate the rest of my meal, so he ate half of my dinner.
So it
So
doesn't even
no,
great.
no, I came back downstairs, and he was at the bottom of the stairs. He looked at me and he ran back upstairs. I'm like, you fucker, you ate my dinner, didn't you? And I was right. He was waiting. He was like, I'm not gonna get cornered by mom. I'm gonna wait till I know she's on her way. Then I'm gonna go hide. Fucker. Anyhow, it's fine. So anyway,
That fucking dog.
back to the show. Fucking Bucky
Anyway,
Barnes. This.
fuck you.
Fuck you, Beth Bucky Barnes. In case y'all don't know, one of my dogs is named Bucky Barnes. Bucky Sebastian Barnes.
Yes.
Yes. Named after Bucky Barnes, the Winter
Yes.
Soldier. So this baby just flops right out of her.
Oh yeah. Right after she kills the infected, she stabs it to death.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden she looks down and there's like, oh
like,
baby, she's like, oh shit.
Like in the whole like skerfuffle, it just like shot out of her like a fucking bullet.
Zoom.
But then she looks down and she realizes that in the melee, she's gotten bit. So
bitten.
Yeah.
Uh,
pretty close to her vajayjay, actually.
On her thigh, yeah.
Yeah.
She was bit in the thigh as she was giving birth.
Mm-hmm.
And the baby's still attached via umbilical cord.
Yep. So she does we see her cut the umbilical cord. As I said, barf in my mouth. And then
in the hopes that maybe blood doesn't travel too fast.
Right? Well. And then suddenly, well. So suddenly we kind of like break from that scene.
Yeah.
And she does say at that point, she calls her Ellie, and what does she say? Give him hell,
No,
Ellie.
She's like, because the baby's crying, and she's like, you fucking tell him, Ellie.
That's it.
And I'm like, she's got a potty mouth just like Ellie does. I love it.
Yeah. And this is the part where you're like, oh, it's Ellie's mom. And then the next scene, you think that, oh, we've moved to the present. No, we're still in the past.
Yeah.
And Marlene from episode 1, is back. I thought she got shot in the stomach in the first episode.
Yeah, she did.
So she's just walking in here like nothing wrong.
Because we're still in the past.
Oh, I mean, later on. I'm sorry, later on. She comes back later on, and she comes walking in like she didn't get shot in the stomach. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They treated her. It's fine.
Okay, cool.
She was treated.
I thought she actually died in that first episode.
Oh, no.
Because you hear gunshots as they're leaving.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was that matter now. But no, she's like, that's partly why she wanted and needed Tess and Joel to take Ellie, because she was bleeding out. She's like, I can't. I'm bleeding out right now.
Right.
Like, and that's why it had to be a fast decision.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, you got to take her. And she was desperate.
So I mean, I got confused. I got confuzzled until I realized that they were at the house, and I'm like, okay, so we obviously know Ellie gets taken to Boston somehow. So Marlene and some dude find Anna and the baby.
Yeah.
And what does she tell Marlene?
She shows Marlene her bite wound.
Yep.
And she asks Marlene to take Ellie to take the baby to Boston QT where she'll
Hmm.
be safe
Hmm.
and let her, put her somewhere that she'll be safe, and then you'll have to kill me.
And then she also says, because she looks at the bite and she looks at like, do I gotta shoot this baby too? And she's like,
Oh,
oh
right.
no, I cut it before I got bit. Total lie. Total
Total
lie.
lie.
I actually had to write it in my notes. I'm like, did she lie about that? I'm like, yes, she did. Because I'm like,
She absolutely did.
I was like, the order in my brain was like, well, I'm getting old, but I'm like, hold on, I just saw this. So yeah, so she lied, but yeah,
I forgot
it,
about that. Yeah, she even
yeah,
repeats it like it was before.
yeah. And Marlene at first is like, nah, I'm not gonna shoot you. She takes the
Yeah.
baby, takes it out, then just like powers
Yeah.
through and just walks in and shoots her. I mean,
And
I,
Marlene, we learned that Marlene and Anna grew up together. They've been
yep,
friends forever.
yeah.
And
Which I think we don't get that until the backstory, right? The behind the scenes. That's the only reason I knew is because they don't.
no, it's in the scene. She said, "How long have we known each other?"
Oh,
And
thought I
Marlene
just
says
watched it.
forever.
So there you
Yeah.
go.
So Marlene makes a tough decision to kill Anna
Yep.
at her request. Cuz like Anna doesn't want to turn. Honestly, that's
Right.
half that's half of it. Most people, like, even if if you get bit, you don't want to turn either.
I think
Just
that's pretty much should just be the show is just, oh shit, I got shit, I got bit, shoot me. Like that's, I mean, how many times have we already encountered that?
just
Just
shoot me.
David Spade's last good role. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um
truly.
but I mean that's really pretty much just the constant in the show is somebody getting bit and then somebody
Yeah.
having to shoot them. So or kill them in some horrible way.
Yeah.
So then we shoot to the present. Well,
With
it's further ahead than when our last episode because it's like it's sunny for one, and they're like, I think, well, they're close to
they're
Utah.
they're
They're in Utah, so they're in
they're
Salt
in
Lake City.
Utah, but
Yeah.
they're close to the hospital in Salt Lake.
Yeah. So um and so we figure at least a little bit of time has passed at this point.
Yeah.
Joel's moving along pretty well.
Yeah. Ellie's still really out of it.
She is. He is
Super
like,
out of it.
he's more comfortable with her than any episode. This is like the most comfortable he is with her. And he's even joking with her and he's trying to get her to
Kind of snap out of it a little bit. Like
yeah.
he's trying to, like, poke her a little bit.
And you know, they figure they want to go up to one of the skyscrapers so they can look down on the town and like maybe see kind of where maybe the hospital is, get a lay of the
Yeah. Where
land.
they need to go.
Right. And so what do they find up on the top of the skyscraper?
I loved this moment because up until this moment, Ellie has been very like Joel has to repeat himself a lot. Like, Ellie, are you paying attention? Like, and she's just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. She's still really like
From that
out of it.
trauma that she
Yeah.
experienced. Yeah.
And they're climbing up this scaffolding, and she's bringing down a ladder, and she looks around while she's bringing the ladder down for Joel, and all of a sudden she's like, oh my god, and she books it.
Yeah,
And she
drops the
starts
ladder.
running around, right.
It's like, what the fuck? Yeah.
And Joel's like, slow down, what the fuck,
Yeah.
and he's calling. She's like, come on, you gotta see. And there in an opening at the top of the building is a giraffe just having lunch. Just chilling out,
He's like, this is my salad.
having a little snack. And
Which was this CGI'd? This looked real CGI'd to me.
I think it was.
It was not the best CGI. I mean, the fact that I was
No, I don't know, actually.
you keep talking. I'll look and see if there's anything in the episode.
I don't know, actually, because
It would be in the trivia. So let me see if there's.
yeah.
Um.
But she sees a giraffe, and she's like, don't scare it away, and he goes, I won't. And so they're really quiet. And this is obviously they're in Salt Lake City, and there's a giraffe from the zoo. Like, the giraffe is probably used to people. Well, what?
It was a real. The giraffe
was
wasn't
real.
created in CGI. It was a real.
I was gonna
giraffe.
say, because the way the tongue took the leaves that she had and like licked her hand and everything, It was way too realistic, I
It
thought.
just look the some of it, maybe it's just the coloring on it too.
It
It's
might be.
natural
Sometimes the lighting kind of tricks your eye a little bit.
yeah. Its name
Um,
is Nabo. Nabo.
oh,
Yeah.
Neville the giraffe.
Yeah.
Um, but she so he gives her these leaves to give to the giraffe to eat, and the giraffe is like, "Ah," and she lets out this giggle and smiles,
Yeah.
and
And he
and
just
he looks at her. The way he looks at her is like, like she's okay.
yeah,
And
and
it's
like
the first time that she's probably smiled in days.
and it's one of those also like he looks at her and it's almost like it's a very if he didn't and I'm using love and I'm gonna say this and I'm not and people are like gross that's not what but I'm not meaning this way is he looks like he falls in love with her like
I was
not
gonna say the same thing.
it's not like and I'm not meaning romantic love I'm meaning love like he loves her like his daughter and you can just see like it finally fits into place for him that this is like even though not my blood but still my kin and
Yeah.
yeah and that was
Yeah.
that moment where he just stares at her like it's his kid
Yeah.
yeah
And that they're tied together. They're bonded.
they're bonded yeah
They're
it's a
so
bonding moment yeah
yeah.
yeah
And it's a super sweet moment, and she kind of that really kind of snaps her out of things. Like I mean, seeing a giraffe for the
yeah
first time ever in your entire life
yeah
up close and personal, like that's got to be a crazy experience.
yeah
Um,
and there's not just one there's a herd of them over
yeah,
on the
as they
stadium
look
yeah
out, they look out a little further over, and there's a whole herd of them. You know, what else are these animals gonna do from
I'm surprised
being
no
in the
one's
zoo?
I'm not gonna lie I'm surprised that no one's eaten them
I mean, I am too, honestly, but I don't know.
maybe there wasn't also like again that must answer our question about would the infected eat non-humans
And they do, because there are lots of moments um also in the game also where like you find dead deer, dead moose
mm.
eaten like eaten out.
But do we know if it was from the infected or somebody like another because like in my
Like
mind
if it was a person, they would have like dressed it and cut it nicely. No, these were
mm.
like
Oh okay
gnarled apart.
oh got it
Yeah. Yeah, like gross.
gross
Gross.
gross
Eh.
oh,
Eh.
but this but we get this other part I love here where Joel gives Ellie like an option to go just forget if you want we can forget about this and just go back to Tommy's
Yeah.
and Ellie says she needs to finish this she's like I'll follow you wherever you go but there's no halfway with this we finish what we started
Yeah.
and I mean just
It was a nice moment.
this is a nice moment and then this next one coming up tears fucking tears we find out where the scar comes from that Joel has and how he got it because didn't he say before that there was a guy who shot and missed and that's how
Yes.
he's missing a lot of his hearing and he's got a scar couldn't find out he was the man who shot and missed
Yeah.
um and so they talk about that like where he was at mentally and
Yes.
kind of trying to use it as tr- you know
Yeah, he's like, "What I'm trying to say is," and she interrupts him and is like, "Yeah, I know what you're trying to say. Time heals all wounds."
oh and then he says
And he
it wasn't time that did it. And both actors, you can just see in this moment, this is why they got the parts and why their chemistry is like so off the charts because both of them are like, I mean, natural near tears. It is like it's fantastic acting here because he's
yeah,
choked up and she's choked up. It's gorgeous.
it's such a wonderful moment.
And she just says,
So
I'm
good.
I'm so glad that guy missed. I'm so glad you missed. And yeah, I mean, if we're gonna have a dad daughter moment, this is it right here.
This is it.
Yeah,
This solidifies their bond.
yeah.
It totally does.
But shortly after that, they get taken down by
Well,
fireflies.
yeah. Yeah, very quickly. They're
Yeah,
starting to walk through, and then they all of a sudden there's like tear gas or some kind of like mini bomb or something, and they get Joel gets gun butted, and he
yeah,
wakes up on a gurney
yeah,
inside the hospital, and there's Marlene.
yeah. And we find out that Ellie is being prepped for surgery.
Yeah,
Why
because
is she?
he's where is she? I want to see her. Take me
Yeah.
to her.
And they're like,
She
you
said you
can't.
can't. He's like, what do you mean she's being prepped for surgery?
So we find out why they want her. I mean, they want her because she's immune. They
Yes,
also want her because remember that? Oh yeah, I cut it after I got bit. Well, we all know, or before I got bit, we all know it was after. And why we know it was after is because the blood had like the cordyceps was actually in her blood, and was it, what they call it, a magnifier? It was something. It's like imagine it being like a white blood
messenger.
messenger. It's like a white blood cell, and
Yeah,
it is like, so it would give you a defense. It's a vaccine, pretty much. That's what it is.
in
Like she,
essence, right? She was basically inoculated at birth
right. And
because she
however,
had it went into her bloodstream, however small, in an extremely small way.
um, and so they want to take it out, and they want to take the cordyceps that's in her right now out because it's been growing since she
Yes,
was, um, and so like the cordyceps itself is, excuse me, is like think of like a tumor, and then it's letting out these like messenger cells that are like protecting her. So they want to take that tumor out. Well, as Joel says, where does the cordyceps, where does it,
right.
where's it housed?
The cordyceps are housed in the brain,
Right. Because to be able to,
meaning,
they have to take, what they're going to do is they want to take that cordyceps out and multiply it and make a vaccine for it.
yeah,
However,
it would be at Ellie's cost.
right. Which I was like, they remove tumors all the time. Well, I guess it's because it's so probably ingrained into the brain, probably. I don't know.
That there are many questions I had about this, about like, well, is it still possible she could live, or maybe not, because they don't have the
Good enough. Yeah.
technological resources, the medical resources to, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Right. Because I was
that's a
thinking,
lot.
the only thing I think of is like if it is quote unquote like kind of like a tumor, which it sounds like. I mean,
Or if it's woven through the brain, you
it's
know what I
been
mean?
13 years, 14 years,
Right,
so it's probably so much part of her body.
right.
But then
They're
I also,
lucky. They're lucky they found a surgeon.
which
Let
the other,
alone, is he a brain surgeon? Whoa.
well, here's the other thing I was thinking. Like, then if it is still in her body, and it has, if it's so woven in that they can't remove it without killing her, we would think they would be in other, had metastasized to other parts of her body, that they couldn't just take pieces and parts out too. Like you wouldn't have to take the whole thing.
There's that too. I thought, why couldn't they just do it via blood?
Right.
If
Right.
it,
Because,
like you said, if it attaches to white cells or something,
right.
but maybe it doesn't. Maybe that's what we're not getting.
Yeah.
So there are some things that aren't explained, that
Science.
because like you can, like there are two schools of thought here, and on one you can make a bunch of scientific arguments about how it's possible she could still have lived, or they could have done something else. But on the other hand, you have multiple arguments, like it's 20 years into the apocalypse. You're lucky you have a surgeon at all, let alone was he a brain surgeon or just a surgeon in general?
Right.
We don't know. What kind of
Was he a
specialist
vet?
was
Who
he?
knows?
Right, like you don't
Yeah.
know. um what we also don't know enough about
There's
the
no
fungus
computers.
disease. Right, there's no computers. We like they're lucky they have x-rays, maybe.
Well,
um
and that's my thing is like, how is he going to do what he's going to do when they take it out? Because literally they're keeping this hospital open with generators. So
which
you,
well, right, like there's a moment where eventually, it's shocker, eventually we do get into the operating room, and
mhm.
you hear the doctor saying, do we have enough power?
Right. So how are
Well,
they
I don't
running?
know.
How is he going to whatever he's going to do with this thing once he gets it
Right,
out of her?
it's a high risk. almost no guarantee that she would live through it.
Right.
It would be a miracle if she did live through it, given all of these circumstances.
Right. So instead,
So it's a
let's
fair argument to say that she probably would not make it, despite
right.
any efforts to save her.
So then in my mind, and again, science, but my thinking would
Science.
be science, like you get this thing out of her, that's your one time to do it. That's it. But if you let
You get
her,
one right. You get one shot.
how about you try some of her blood? How about you do some other testing first? If you're gonna, instead of just, hey, let's rip this out of you, and you were the only living person that this occurs, this happened to.
Well, in fairness, though, they have done testing. They've done testing on infected. They've done testing on on how the disease grows and how, you know what I mean?
But not on her though.
But not on her.
And she is immune.
Yeah.
So also, can't they just reproduce it? Like reproduce the I mean, that's also horrible to think about. Like, how do you reproduce it? But can't they I don't know, whatever.
I
It
know.
doesn't matter.
Lots of it. Right. There are a lot of arguments to be made here that don't kind of
And I don't think
satisfy,
it's
but
also vague because it's a video game. So
that too.
yeah. Um oh,
So there's that. So
there's that. So
Joel realizes that Ellie will die
yeah, and he obviously loves this child and does not want her to die.
and is like, find someone else. There is no one else.
Right.
This is
And
it.
Marlene's kind of like, I know I'm the only person in the world who knows exactly what you're going through right now, because I'm going through it right now too.
Right. Because her mother was my best friend, and I made a promise to her as her dying wish that I would help her child and keep her safe. But here we are.
Right.
This is for the greater good.
Right.
The greater good.
The greater good. And now we're gonna get fucking Robo Joel, because holy shit, he goes
This was done
fucking sicko
beautifully.
mode right here. This is like fucking this is nuts.
It is G.I. Joel.
Yes.
fucking he fucking like, this was so beautifully done. This was so beautifully directed. This was so beautifully done the way they did it, because obviously in the video game you're Joel and you're shooting people.
I was waiting for him to take a hit.
Yeah. No. He is like something he snaps. He fucking snaps.
Yeah,
you don't piss off Papa Joel.
Because they're leading him out because they're gonna leave him by the road with this pack.
Yeah.
And she says, like, if he does anything, fucking shoot him.
Right.
And so he stops at one point and he's looking at the fucking signs, like the direction signs, and I'm like, and they get into the stairwell, and it's like immediately it is like, yep.
Immediately he takes over the two body like guards that are with him, and he kills them both. Oh, and he like the one he shoots the one in the leg, like he kills the one, shoots the other in the leg, and it's like, where is she? And the guy's like, fuck you, man. He's like, I don't have time for this. Dead.
Oh,
just done. I don't have time for this.
This is a blank slate gets put right in front of Joel's face.
And part of how you can tell this is like, so we have Joel going through the hospital, desperately trying to find where Ellie is. And he is stealthing through the hospital with just switching gun after gun after gun. He like, once he runs out, he switches it with another gun with somebody he just killed and just goes through the hospital. But the sound is muffled.
Yeah.
Almost like he's on autopilot. He is not thinking, he's just going.
And from some parts of this, we see it from like his point of view. It is like first person shooter.
Yeah. And he's leaving none alive. He is killing everybody. No. He does not give a fuck anymore. He's game over Joel.
Not give a fuck.
Yeah. He is game over Joel. I am going to get Ellie come hell or high water. Nobody better be in my way.
This poor surgeon, though, when he gets into the operating room, he's like, I'm not going to let you take her. He's got a fucking scalpel. And he's just like, boom, right in the head. One shot.
No questions, no comments, nothing. Just boom.
Yeah. He does leave.
And so the
nurses, doesn't he?
He does leave the nurses because they're like, well, he's like, unhook her right now. Turn around. And he is very cold and he's very dry. And he picks up Ellie in
Sarah. Yep. The same fashion he had Sarah. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And takes her out and takes Ellie out of there. until he gets to the parking garage where he sees a truck being charged, or a truck
On a
and
generator. Yeah.
and
A
a
battery. Yeah.
battery being charged, ready for it to go. And he's
And,
confronted by Marlene again.
right. And
And
he almost gives in.
very
Almost.
close.
Very close.
Marlene gives him one last speech. Like,
It's not, and it's a good one.
it's
It's
and it's
very
an excellent one. She's like, it's not too late. It's still not too late.
even
After
after.
everything you just did, you just killed all my people, basically. It's still not too
I mean,
late.
kill count maybe what, 30?
Probably something
Yeah,
like that.
something
It's
like that. Yeah,
crazy.
it's
It's crazy.
insane. And he
It's not
just
too late to do the right thing. And this confrontation here was spot on, baby, because it's everything we're thinking too. Like, you know, because his argument is like, well, you're not giving her a choice, and she says you're not either.
right, and she's right. She's 100% right, because it's
She's
like,
100% right.
because
How do you know what Ellie would want? Only
right.
Ellie knows what she would want.
Well, and that's to her detriment, is she should have fucking asked her.
Agreed. That's another argument that another issue that I had with it is like, why the fuck would you not tell her?
That's
Like,
villain mode shit. That's villain shit.
right. Surely there's enough time. But it's tough because you don't want to give her the out to say no, and then, okay, oh well.
Right. Right.
I guess I'll just peace out then. Right, bye.
I mean, I guess, yeah.
I'm the only one that can save humanity. Sorry about it. Bye.
Yeah. But at the same time, like,
no,
I guess,
thanks.
if you're gonna go villain, you're gonna go villain and do it. Be like, here's the choice, and if she says no, then be like, okay, I'm good, and then fucking do it anyhow. I mean, those are really, unfortunately, your options, because we don't necessarily know. Well, I guess she'd have to be alive for them to. I mean, and they could keep her alive.
That's the other thing about brain surgery is, don't you have to keep?
They have to be alive.
Yeah, like not only alive but awake.
They have to be awake. Yeah, that's if you're really caring how the person's going to end up at the end of it.
Fair.
Like, because you can see motor movement.
You mean every other brain surgery ever? Got it. Okay.
Yeah, except for this one.
The purpose of all brains. Okay, got it.
Right. Yeah. But like,
that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, in all honesty, they could keep her alive, and because you're not dead unless you're removing the brain stem, and even then you're still. Well,
she would have to. She would have to be alive because you want those cells to be active, to be alive.
So she would honestly, like, when we say she wouldn't be dead, she'd actually just she'd be brain dead, but she wouldn't be dead. Yeah. Because I would assume they would. This is a horrible conversation, and this is a horrible outcome. But I would assume
crazy.
I assume they would keep her alive to have that for that thing to continue growing in her. Well, no, because they're taking it out. I don't fucking know. Whatever. Anyhow, look, it doesn't fucking matter because he makes the decision.
Right, he makes it for her, and he fucking. This was so well done, and it's done the exact same way in the game.
Oh, really?
The way they do the scene by scene.
The cuts, yeah.
Yes, the way they do it. In the order, I mean.
So you can't make that obviously you can't make that decision. Joel makes the decision. You don't have, like, in the game, you can't be like, well, I'm gonna decide to give her to them. Right?
No.
Okay.
No, it's like, this is where this is where the cinematic picks up.
It's a cut screen. Got it. It was a cut. Yeah.
It's a cut scene.
Yeah.
So, like, once he gets out into the parking garage, then it's a cut scene.
Got it.
And we have this confrontation with Joel and Marlene, and they're arguing. And she's begging him, it's not too late. We can still do this. We can still make this right. We can still find a way. We could save everyone, Joel. Then we cut. And Joel is driving in the car.
Near tears.
Yeah, in the truck with Ellie in the back.
But we don't see her right away. So we think that he made the trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a minute. But then we hear some stirring in the back seat, and it's Ellie. Ellie is there in the surgical garb, like just now coming to a little bit. And she's like, "What the fuck?" And he's like, "You're on a lot of drugs. Just take it easy." And she's like, "What the fuck happened? I was with the Fireflies and then nothing. I don't what the fuck happened." He tells her that there was nothing they could do. They It turns out there are many like you. There are dozens like you.
Yep. And they've stopped looking for a
And they
cure.
stopped looking for a cure because they have already done tests on all these other people and it hasn't done shit. So you're off the hook, basically.
But she just knows in the pit of her stomach this isn't true. She knows he's lying to her. And then we have the scene. We see what
Then we go
happens.
back.
Yeah.
Then we go back to the parking garage,
In his flashback.
his flashback. And we look at Marlene and she's shot in the stomach and she crumples down.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go back to the truck.
Bitch gets shot in the stomach all the time, man.
A lot!
Like, her belly's magnet for bullets.
Right. And we see Joel holding Ellie, holding a gun below her legs.
I knew there was a gun missing.
There had to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Joel shot Marlene. He gets to the truck, puts Ellie in it, goes back to Marlene, and Marlene's like gasping for air.
Yeah.
Like
don't do this. Yeah.
Clinging to life. Just leave me, please, please don't kill me. Or let me live.
Yeah.
And he says, "You'll just come after her," and shoots her right point blank in the face.
Yeah, Joel, this is what I mean, it's like
This is nasty Joel taking over.
Well, it's also like this is what Marlene wanted. This is the Joel Marlene wanted, to get her to fucking Salt Lake City.
Yes and no.
Right.
But it's like you wanted it, but you didn't know what you were asking. You didn't know what you were asking for.
Yep. And you got it. You didn't realize to what end did you get it. And
oh, she got it.
Yeah.
In the end, she got it.
She got it. And then they finally, he says, "We're going home," meaning they're going to Tommy's.
Yeah.
And
home. We are going home.
We are going home. And she's pretty, like, you could tell something's still bothering her, obviously, because she knows that he's lied to her. And so finally he has a bunch of conversations. They have a really long conversation where he's been more open about Sarah and how she,
the truck breaks down and they're just like a few miles out of town. And they're like, "Well, we're probably another 5-hour hike. Remember those? Did call back?" So they're hiking. And then he talks about Sarah and how they would have liked each other.
Yeah.
But they're very different people, but they would have liked each other.
And it finally gets to the point where he's like, they see the town. They can see, what the fuck is the town called?
Jackson.
And they can see it. And they're like, and he's like, "Well, we're almost there.
Here we go."
And she's just like, and you could just tell she's like, "We're fucking doing this." Okay, so I killed my best friend. Pretty much tells the story of like how Riley has turned, she didn't, and so she ended up having to kill her best friend. And then she's like, "I've given you this. I am bearing my soul. Here's I am being completely honest with you. Here's my deepest, darkest secret. I need you to swear to me that everything that you said happened at the Fireflies, with the Fireflies, fucking happened.
Swear to me."
Swear to me. And he does. He completely lies to her. But as as Mason and Druckmann say, like, you lie to protect the ones you love.
Yeah.
And
he loves her.
And he loves her.
And he doesn't want her to go fishing for that again. Yep. To her detriment.
I mean, so the one thing that he did talk about is like this ending obviously is one of the most like controversial things with the game. It's either like you're on one camp or the other, like should he have done it or shouldn't he have done it? And what Mason says is, in the end, the only thing we understand is why he did it. And a lot of people will say no in the end. The only thing we can be sure. Wait, sure. Oh, that's what I started writing. Sorry. The only thing that we can be sure of is why he did it. Understand that Ellie would not. My God, voice to text is not good here.
I don't trust that shit anymore.
Yeah. I don't know what it's. Because I let it go because I was like, oh, because it was catching what it was saying. I'm like,
Oh,
this is a bunch of
yeah.
gobbledygook that no one's gonna understand.
Burp,
So
burp, 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 burp.
it's like we know why he does it. Yeah. So it doesn't. It just no. This is. It's a beautiful. Oh, he also said, he goes, it's one of the most beautiful narratives of any video game, and it is. It's
Yes,
a gorgeous video narrative that it's like it's in depth that like you're not gonna get from any other video game. Honestly, like it's
yeah,
so very well thought out. And that's how we end it. It's
that's
not a
it, you
cliffhanger.
guys.
Like you could watch this season and just be like, well, I mean, it's not really a cliffhanger.
No,
I mean, so my question to you is, having watched 15 hours of someone play the second game, so we're
'cause I'm a dick.
no, you're not a dick. You're a dick dead.
I'm addicted. Yeah, that's
So
actually what I meant to say, but I just left it there and embraced it.
I like it. So you don't think of, I mean, I'm sure I don't want spoilers, but I'm sure anybody who listens to somewhere like super spoilers. But where are we going in the next season? I'm assuming Tommy's.
Yes, we open at Tommy's. They've been in Jackson for 4 years.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Ellie is now 18, 17, 18.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of come into her own a bit, has some responsibilities, and like she's part of the people who kind of help keep the town safe.
Mm-hmm.
But she goes on her, it's all about Ellie, is all I'll say. It's all about Ellie.
But Joel is obviously with her.
Mm-hmm.
But does he play as big a role as he does in the first game?
No,
Really?
not at all. Yeah.
Bummer.
There are some, without spoiling anything, there are there's a lot of mixed controversy about the second game. In fact, one of the people that Ashley Johnson, who voices Ellie and did also in the second game, one of the people that Ashley Johnson plays Critical Role with, Laura Bailey, was a voice on an important character in this sequel.
Oh, okay.
So they're both on Critical Role, and they both, were in The Last of Us 2, which was awesome. Laura Bailey, her character is very controversial. And it led to, which is absolutely ridiculous. Her character was so controversial in this second game that people were sending death threats to Laura Bailey, to the actor.
Yes, I mean,
so ridiculous. She won awards for, her acting job in it, and got a lot of it. It was very controversial and got a lot of backlash. Some people were for it, some people were against it. Don't, because
it's gonna be like a year until we see the second season.
You're gonna spoil it. I don't want you to get spoiled. It's gonna spoil it. I promise you, it will spoil it.
I'm gonna get spoiled before the fucking if it comes out. You know that. So I'm not gonna bring it up.
If you're gonna let things get spoiled, let me spoil it for you.
Well, we're not gonna do it here. We won't do
not
it
here. Not here.
No.
I mean, in convo.
Yeah. Well, afterwards you can tell me, because
I'm kind of dying inside to tell you, and have been for months.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's completely fine. I mean, I probably already know, I think so.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Also, I mean, like, who knows? It's a year from now. Who knows? Who knows what will be happening? So we might cover it. We'll probably cover it, but we might not cover it. Anyhow. All right. So let's rate this episode, and I think we should rate the series.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Blood and gore.
This one was. I'm gonna give this a big old 2.5.
Because of the birthing.
That, I mean, it was. I mean, all the fucking gunshots and shit like that. It was pretty
It was
violent
pretty
and stuff.
bloody. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
very violent. I'll give it a 2. Yeah,
yeah,
it was very violent.
yeah.
Spooky, scary.
I think this one is one of the ones that actually like fucking was a little like chilling just because of like fucking cold hard villain shit. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
2 on this one.
same
Yeah,
for the same reasons.
yeah.
Sex and nudity 0. Fun and entertainment.
Oh, that scene, that sicko mode scene 4. I mean, it was really good. What are you going?
Same.
Cool.
I'm just co-signing today.
Cosine.
Co-sign. I'm just gonna
Um,
co-sign today. That's how I feel.
works, works.
What grade would you
Let's go co-sign some loans together. Let's do this. Um,
mm.
what grade would I get? Letter grade. I'm gonna give this one an A minus.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Um.
See,
Yeah.
it's co-signing. Still co-signing.
So for the series in general, like if you had to give it an IMDb score, because
9.0.
hmm,
9.0. The drama. The drama. Oh.
drama, drama.
Oh my god.
Oh, take this
So
to
good.
I'm gonna go 8.5.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
That's really good.
I mean, yeah. Again, I think it's just me being tired of zombies. I think that's where I'm at with it.
A lot of it. Yeah. They're different kind of zombies, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
I mean, this zombie in this episode,
however you want to
this
slice it.
this infected in this episode was very 28 days later zombie.
Yeah. It climbed up the stairs.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So and it moved
running after her real fast.
Right, real fast. So I was like,
Yeah.
and I think that's just part of it. And I think that might be the malaise that we all have with the zombie shit right now because we've been doing it for like 20.
Sorry, I was just looking at the IMDb score overall for the series is 8.8. So we're right on.
What, right in the middle between our two. So there we go.
Yep, we're right on.
I will give Pedro Pascal a 10 out of 10 in my pants. Anyhow. I noticed his yep. I noticed his makeup, his age makeup a lot in this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This one was like, it even looks like he's aged in the since episode 1, and he probably has like
in the last day.
Yeah, like,
but definitely has more gray.
Yeah. Also, for the next season, someone put some. His beard is so fucking patchy.
That's what happens. That's how it grows in. It's very natural looking.
I know.
That's how it happens.
I know. So, also, why wouldn't he shouldn't he have a huge ass beard? Shouldn't everybody have who has a beard have a huge ass beard? Are you taking the time to shave not shave or at least trim it? Who's got time?
Wait, what? You don't have scissors when you travel? You would have scissors in your travel pack, and keep that shit up. Keep it tight.
Tie it tight. Tie your face and tight. Okay. So we've got some fun things coming up this weekend. We are recording Eight-Legged, which you can catch on if you want to watch along with us.
Please do.
You can catch on HBO Max right now, or I'm sorry, Max as they're calling it now. It's dubbed Max.
So I was watching this episode today, and I just had to download the app, and I'm like, so far not impressed because I attempted to watch this episode 10 times because it kept saying error, and I'm like, so far not impressed, Max.
Yeah, which very much makes me think of Cinemax. So, but isn't Cinemax now something else? Is it Stars now? I think
so.
No, was that who bought up? Was that MGM now? I don't know. Who fucking cares? It doesn't matter. But you can watch it on you can watch it on Max. The other one we were doing is Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge, and it is on Shudder. So if you don't have Shudder, guys, come the fuck on.
What the
Bridget,
actual fuck are you doing?
yeah, I mean, it's $5 a month, and it is
Yeah.
all your fucking horror wet dream needs. I mean, it is just everything you want and a bag of chips. Anyhow, so we're doing those two, and then what month is coming up? It's
One of our favorite months. Pride
yes,
Month.
yeah. So we got guests up the wazoo.
All month. All month long.
Along, okay. We have our friend Lee is coming in, and we are going to be doing Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker, which the only place you can find it is on fucking YouTube. Awesome. Okay. And or I buy 3 copies for everybody to watch on DVD.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Fuck you, Shutter. I mean, even though I'm giving you, but come on. No one wants it but you. Just keep it up.
Right.
That's what she said. And then the
Right.
other one is Witchboard with fucking Tawny Katane, bitch. So
Yes.
yeah, and you guys are probably wondering why Witchboard. There is a number of scholarly articles written about how gay Witchboard is, how the two guys in it are not real worried about Tawny Katane and worried more about like holding back from kissing each other. So exciting. It's very exciting. Then what's
Interesting.
after that, my dear?
Then my good friend will be making a reappearance for The Covenant with Sebastian Stan. And The Craft, also with Tawny Katane.
There we go.
Yay.
R.I.P.D. Yeah.
Did she die?
Oh yeah, she died a couple years ago. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she was young. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also still gorgeous. Like she's still fucking gorgeous.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah. Also fucking Tina Turner died
Tina
today.
Turner just died. Ugh.
Those legs. Those legs are in heaven right now. Those gorgeous legs are in fucking heaven. She is
stomping all over.
Yep. Clouds.
R.I.P. Tina.
Yep. And then we're jumping in
July.
Yeah, jumping into Insidious.
The Insidious series, all fucking 5.
Yep, because the new one, The Red Door, comes out at the end of the month, I believe. I'm not sure what the fucking date's in July. But whatever. I was like, hey, so this new Insidious movie's coming out. Should we do this series? So yay! And
I nodded.
Yeah. Do you love Lynn Shay? If you do, you're gonna love the fuck out of this series because she's in almost all of them. Yay!
Perfect.
But you know who I do like?
Who?
Is I like his name just fucking left my brain.
I was gonna say Ike. I like Ike.
What the fuck is his name? Patrick Wilson. I do love me some Patrick Wilson, and I love Rose Byrne. So there we go.
Okay, I do love me some Patrick Wilson. Okay, I'll sign up.
Yeah, musical theater Patrick Wilson. So I don't think people know that about him. They just know that he's in spooky movies. Yeah,
spooky movies and The Watchmen.
Yeah, true story. And Hard Candy. Woo, that movie is. Have you seen that movie?
No.
Oh, he and Elliot Page are in it, and they play a young girl who kind of tries to seduce him because he is. That's all I'm going to say. Oh no, and because he has been possibly doing things with little girls.
Okay.
Yeah. It's cool. Wild. It's wild.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyhow, you can find us at a bunch of places. Stay tuned. This is wow. I went on a tangent. I'm gonna do my I saw Outpost this past weekend, so stay tuned for that. And I would say keep it spooky. Keep it spooky.